puppy dog. How you doing, puppy dog? Oh, you want to get on camera? Where are you? Come here. Can you come say hi? There's Watson. Hey, I don't have anything for you. Oh, wait. Yes, maybe I do have something for you. We made puppy dog treats this morning, didn't we? So, there you go. That's his favorite. They're oatmeal and peanut butter. Hey, maybe that's the next episode. So the food doesn't have to be just for you. So anyway, hi, welcome to In the Kitchen with Tim. So I got a tech issue here. There we go. We'll do this. All right. So today, you'll notice over on the counter here we have tomatoes, all kinds of tomatoes going on here. Our garden wasn't the best this year, but we got a lot of tomatoes and we got peppers. So when you get ripe tomatoes and fresh peppers, you make salsa. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's see, I've got lime, a little bit of onion, fresh tomatoes. I have both of these regular tomatoes, can call them big boy, whatever you want to call them. And I also have a couple of Romas in here. These are meteor. So we've got a little bit of both. And then I've got 2 peppers going on here. So I'm missing cilantro. That gives it that little fresh zing. So now fresh cilantro is different than cooked, obviously, because it's all fresh. You need to eat it like right away. I mean, it lasts today and maybe tomorrow, and then that's it. Then the acid starts to cook the tomato and it gets a little weird. It's not awful, but eat it as soon as you make it. If you're used to the cooked stuff, that's fine. That's a little saucier, because the tomato starts to break down, and it gets be a lot more combined in the cooking process. This is just very fresh. Every flavor is there. You can make it as hot as you want or not. So if you don't want to use jalapeno peppers, I mean, there's so many other types of peppers you can use. This is just what we grew. So anyway, yeah, so I need a bowl. I need a bowl. Hang on. Let's see. We've done so much. So we're taking the salsa on the road. So, we have a little party to go to today, so we're going to take this. So it's a nice little addition to a party. So all right. So let me show you. I won't cut all this up for you, but I just want to show you. That's going to bother me. Here's a little trick. If you don't know how to do this or have never done this before, so you get a paper towel, you get it wet. Balance. There we go. Then you lay your wet paper towel down on your cabinet, countertop, like that. Put your cutting board on it. No more sliding. Ta-da! Little trick. So when I worked in restaurants, that was one of the things that we'd learned, because we'd get these cutting boards and we'd have a steel tabletop, and it'd just slide everywhere. Now, we didn't use paper towels. We would just get a regular towel, get it wet, put it down, and it was there. So anyway. Oh, let's see, my show off. I need my apron. Yes, live with Kelly Ryan. I still have it. I still use it. I'll still brag about it. So, in fact, the other day, we have a new employee at work, and I got introduced as the guy that was on Kelly and Ryan. So, I guess that'll stick with me for a little while. There we go. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So, So this is actually very good for you as well because there isn't any extra ingredients there. It's all fresh. It's all natural. Thank you, Google. I don't need you, but go ahead. All right. So let's start with the tomato here. All right. Now, when you're making fresh salsa, you want to make sure that you don't have the seeds in it. There's all the inside stuff. So I will cut off the top. All right. Get rid of that. And then I cut it into quarters like this. These are the big ones. Now, you just take your thumb like this and pull all that out. All right. And just drop it in the sink. Take all of that, the little seeds. Oh, all that out. I'll do it again. Hang on. So that leaves you with just the meat. This is also part of the core, and I will just cut that off. It's not awful. You just don't need to chew it. Okay? So cut that off. There. Now this one still has all the membrane in it, so what I would do, cut it again, because I want to get to the part where I see the seed. Alright, and I take that out and get rid of all that juice that's in there. Okay? All that, so it looks like that. And we'll do this one, that, and get rid of all of that. Alright, so you can just go through and do that to all of your tomatoes. Alright, oop, that one's gushy. That one's gushy. There we go. Now, I mean, when I make, so the rest of those tomatoes that are over there, I will just cut the top off, quarter it, put it in a pot, and heat it up, and then blitz it. I like to have all the seeds and everything in there. If I want to make tomato juice or tomato soup, I will strain it and get rid of all the seeds. But usually when you blitz it, I have a little hand mixer. They chops up pretty fine, so you don't have them all in there. And I like some of the tomato meat to be visible when I make my sauces. So, and it looks like this when it's sauced up. Okay, this is the first batch of tomatoes, and see, I mean, if you looked at it, you can see there's a few seeds in there, but most of them are gone. And I did not strain this one. So anyway, so we go through and get rid of all of the seeds out of the sauce, the tomatoes here. All right, that's, like I said, we're trying to get rid of as much juice as possible, because as soon as we put the lime juice on the tomatoes, it will actually start to pull out more of the juice. So then what we do is we cut them up. Right, Watson? And I leave the skin on if you are a anti-skin tomato person before we do this. So we take this, get a pot on the stove, boiling water, put a fork in this, stick it in there for about 30 seconds, pull it out, and you can peel off most of the skin. But we don't need to do that on these. The skin is very tender. Ouch. Be careful. 2 knives. So I've already taken off the end of my thumb twice with my new knives. So the chefs on Worst Cooks wouldn't like me very much. Alright, so we have a nice chop on our tomato, like that. So put that there, and I'll keep going. Now, I'll speed up this process here in a minute. Get rid of that, rid of that. Now Watson's getting a little impatient watching me. He actually loves tomatoes. So he used to go into the garden when he was a puppy after we were done harvesting, and he would pull out all the rotten tomatoes and eat them. Now, you would think that that would be bad for their little digestive systems, but not for him. So he loves tomatoes. It's a ball, basically, and he can throw it up in the air. And anyway, so now we're going to do the same thing with this lovely guy. If you are sensitive to peppers at all, put rubber gloves on, okay? All right. If you don't, then just be careful. Whether you're sensitive or not to peppers, just be careful, all right? So, again, I don't want a lot of heat in this. So, I always take a smaller knife, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the ribs and the seeds. Now, this is the one thing I have to be careful about getting on the ground. I cannot flip any of these seeds on the floor because we have a puppy dog, Watson, that eats anything that falls on the floor or goes to pick it up. So the other day he found a seed, and let's just say it did not sit well with him. It was like almost immediate, unfortunately. So, poor little guy. So I don't use my fingernails to pull this stuff out, because if you get any of this pepper oil in this underneath your fingernails, and then you go and, rub your eye, it hurts. So anyway, so I go through and take my knife and I cut this little fiber out right here. So it's called a rib, I guess. I'll pull. Like I said, if you want heat, leave it. If you don't want heat, you do this. So now these I chop up very fine, because I don't want large chunks of jalapeno. So right now I only have 2 going on for this whole batch. 2 peppers. More than likely, it's not going to be enough. But I always start small, and then I can always add more if I want to, because this is, you never know the heat of your peppers. So one thing I did learn, unfortunately the hard way, is that, these don't have them, but if they start to get these wrinkles on them, now this one has just been in the fridge, so it's not old or anything like that, but the water's starting to dry out of it. But if it has these white lines on it, those are called heat lines. And the more lines it has on it, the hotter it's going to be. The longer you leave it on the vine, the hotter it will get. So we try to pick these early. At this stage is when you can make jalapeno poppers with them. Like I said, I will dice them up and put them in Mexican food. Like I said, I don't like a lot of heat, but I want a little bit of spice. So just a nice small dice, just like that. We'll go right in my bowl there. And I have another one. Let me show you the onion. Same thing with the onion. I am not a big fan of huge chunks of onion. This is a sweet onion. I prefer Vidalia, but I think they're kind of out of season now. So you know how to cut an onion, right? You cut off the end and you leave the hairy end together because it keeps it attached. So what I do is I cut in almost to the edge there. So, and then I will make tiny incisions. Now, if it starts to come apart, use your fingers to keep it together, because this process helps with dicing. Like that, and that. Just go around the onion. You'll notice it's already starting to come apart in little dices. So, and I will go through and I will chop that even finer. Again, I don't want large chunks of onion, but a half an onion for this is about right. So, want more onion? Add more. You want more pepper? Add more. It's not really salsa if there's no pepper, I guess, in my opinion. But it's also not salsa if it's green pepper. So, but I don't like green pepper. I don't like red pepper. I don't like yellow pepper. I think green pepper tastes like earwax. Don't ask me why I know that. I just don't like the flavor of them. I can tolerate red and yellow, like if I want to stuff them and bake stuff in it, like meatloaf. I want to do stuffed peppers, that's cool. I just don't want to eat them. So, anyway, that's just a thing. Alright, again, small dice. Just like that. There we go. Watson, is everything cool? It's all good? Now, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to take a break. Well, you're going to take a break. I'm going to finish chopping all this stuff up, and then we'll finish it off here in a minute. All right? So, are we ready to make more? What? No, it's got peppers in it now. You can't have it. All right? So, all right. You gonna watch? We're back. Hi. We're back. Watson and I are discussing the viscosity of the salsa and anything. All right. Anyway, so I've done chopping. So I've got this. We got a little more tomato. So I ended up dicing up 2 more tomatoes because I needed a little bit more. The tomatoes are a little smaller than what, and didn't have as much meat on the inside. So this is 8 small tomatoes for this batch that I'm making. But I still have only done 1 pepper so far. But we're going to taste it momentarily. Alright, so there's that. We've done 2 peppers, finely chopped. There's the second one going in, right there. Alright, and then I need to get a spoon. Now, you should always taste at every, and I know it's not done yet. Oh, I've got big chunks of onion that need to be, there we go. That's better. Okay. Now before I taste that, ooh, where's my towel? There it is. I know it's gonna need a little salt. Okay. Now it's not done. So I want to get a little bit of everything because I want to make sure I have a heat level and onion level correct. Peppers peppers have a kick. So we're not going to add more. All right, we're not done. Now, in order, in my opinion, in order for it to be fresh salsa, it has to have this. This is cilantro. This gives it that little bite that goes along with the freshness, the lemony portion of it. Okay, so I've rinsed it. I've just got the leaves. The stems are very potent, so I try to avoid them, but kind of bunch it up and chop. Now, I like to get it small because I don't like large chunks of herbs in anything. It's got a consistency of grass then, I think, and takes away from the texture. It's a texture thing. It's a texture thing. So Oh, you can smell that. Oh my gosh. So, if you love cilantro, like I said, that was about half a cup of cilantro. All right. All right. I don't like it when I do that. All right. That's about half a cup. You just need it to look like this. Okay. Got a little green. Salsa is supposed to look like the Mexican flag, I guess, is what I'm told. The Italian flag is the same colors. So, anyway, all right. So, the last thing that we do, and again, it really is the last thing that you do, because as soon as you add the lime juice is an acid, and it will actually start to cook the vegetables on the inside. Okay, so we just need to make sure that you give your limes to room temperature. Roll it. If you have not ever invested in one of these things, you should. I mean, they're what, $10 maybe or less, depending. And if you are juicing anything, lemon or lime, it's a lifesaver. So, yes, you wash it first. I already did that. So you cut it in half. Now this seems counterintuitive because the dip here goes in, but you put the cut side down and you put this side up. And I know there's a lot of room here, but this is how you get the majority of the juice out. So we do this. See? Now, and then it basically turns your lime inside out like that. So, excuse me, goodness sakes, that snuck up on me there. I sneaked into my elbow like you're supposed to. I'll wash. Okay, towel. Here we go. Okay, so I also know from tasting it that it needs a little more salt. Alright. Salt will also start to pull out all the liquid. It just starts to pull all that out. So that's why you're trying to get rid of as much of the liquid as possible. Alright. So, oh my gosh. The smell. The smell. I wish you could smell this. It's all the freshness in here that's going on. It's wonderful. So, yes, I have a spoon, but a spoon is not the best vehicle for salsa. You must have a chip. You must have a chip in order to do that. So, isn't that right, Watson? So, I got something. Yeah. There. Okay. I'm first, Watson. Go on. Yes? Okay, thank you. All right. Salsa. Chip. Just like that. That's a nice, wonderful amount. If you have a big mouth, like I do. Okay. It needs more lime. So, I know that had a lot of juice in it, but it needs that acid. It needs something else to go with it. So, I'm going to push a little bit more in here. There we go. Like that. Stir it up. Now, you will notice that I did not pour this much lime juice in here. This is already starting to happen. So, if it gets to be too much and gets to be too soupy, drain it. Okay? So, I will just do this. That's not all lime juice. That's now tomatoes and peppers and onions starting to expel some of their juices. So, all right, let's try it again. got a broken chip. All right. There. All right. Ooh, good. Oh, much better. Much better with the lime. So, cilantro is that fresh bite. Wonderful. The lime, got that little kick to it. It will need more salt, but I've put that on before I serve it. So, I'll let this sit in this bowl. More than likely, I'll transfer it to a smaller one. And when I do that, I'll also get rid of more of the juice that has come off of the tomato. So, it's obviously better cold. Don't I'll let it sit for days because it will cook and it becomes soggy and not very good. So just make sure that you keep it cool. Make sure you serve it with a lot of chips. It's great on tacos. What do people call it? They call it pico de gallo as well. All right? So what it is, that's all it is. When you go to a restaurant and you get pico de gallo, this is it. All right? So, Watson, are we done? Did I forget anything? Huh, old man? You just want to go outside, don't you? All right. Well, I guess it's that time for us to go outside. Thank you for watching In the Kitchen with Tim. Find me on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll have another one pretty soon. Who knows? It might be doggy biscuits this next time. Have a good one.